Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99. We've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I'm joined today with both Brian and Slothy and the inability to talk. Slothy, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. How about yourself?
My brain shut off there. But other than that, I'm doing great. It's been a pretty good week. The set came out. We built lots and lots of stuff. Tons of things to talk about. We're back to deck tech, so thanks everyone who checked out the spoilers episodes. Brian, how are you doing?
Excellent. I'm just gonna keep saying what I always say. I've been fantastic, actually, having a lot of really good games with some friends over the weekends. I tested out one of the new commanders, Shalai and Halar, so I'm really excited to do a deck tech. Once I feel I want to get it a little bit better, and
polish it up a little, yeah.
Yeah, then we can go over it. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's I was going to say, this is probably the most excited I've seen you for building decks in a long time.
Do you know what? There's a lot of product crammed into that set, but it was still fun opening it. I bought more collector's boxes than probably what I should have, but the serialized numbers, I guess I'm chasing a high on opening some of those boxes or packs. But
that's fair.
The one thing that I did notice was how cheap and flimsy the normal booster packs are compared to the ceiling on the collector's package. Night and day difference on the packaging.
I haven't opened any sealed stuff in a long time. I guess commander decks are sealed, but I'm just a simple man now. I just buy nonstop all the cards that I need.
Yeah. I wish I had that money with the bulk that you buy.
Do you wish that? It's not as great.
Yeah, I guess it does come with a price.
Yeah, it's quite the price. I made a lot of decks for anyone who talks with us while we build decks. I made a lot of decks, and we weren't even going to do this one initially, but it just turned out to be so fun that I couldn't not do this one this week. It's we're doing the new Heliod for everyone who's seen the episode name, and it's such a fun card. Like it's everything that I like. It's the ability to be annoying. It's got group hug, for real group hug, wink wink. But I just really really liked this deck. It's there's some instants in it. Even Slothy will be happy. Like they're not good instants, but there's some there.
What are you talking about?
You're getting there.
It's a start.
Oh, actually, Slothy, like the decks that you're not around for, or for the decks that he actually plays, I'm just like, so where are these decks on our weekly deck tags? Because
Brian's like, you don't even play like this. I play lots of ways. We'll get right into Heliod. So there's pros and cons to this commander that I want to get out of the way. Pros, this is phenomenally fun and has like one of the best cost reduction things I have ever seen in the game. And the con is that this is probably the worst commander to have to recast because you have to transform Heliod to get what you actually want. So Heliod can be played a bunch of ways, and is a really, really good enchantment commander in general.
You're jumping ahead. There's still some other cons there. It might ruin a family.
It didn't ruin nothing. No, we just had in this Heliod game, we had just a huge stack going. Like I think it was like 35 high, maybe higher than that.
Lasted 45 minutes.
It was a big stack, yeah. Because you make so many people draw. This is a draw deck, right? Like it's not mono white. It's Azorius draw, which is kind of cool. But what I was saying about this con is you have to pay 3 and a Phyrexian blue to transform this. So it's 2 double white, legendary enchantment creature god 4/4. When Heliod Radiant Dawn enters, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand, which is great. That's great recursion. And then it has 3 and a blue Phyrexian, transform Heliod Radiant Dawn, activate only as a sorcery. Now the problem with this is that I can't cast the backside of this commander from the command zone, which means that this commander to get up and running is essentially 7 mana commander.
Yep.
And then every time it gets countered, it just gets more. Yeah, 7 mana and 2 life if it goes that way, which is rough, right? Like you can do it. And if you play at the first turn, like let's say we get to 4 mana, right? We play it. We have to, this isn't an indestructible god. This is just a normal one. So we really, really run the risk of it being removed and stuff. It's very risky to just play it out in that way. So keep that in mind when you're playing Heliod, especially because you're going to probably inadvertently be annoying. And the other thing is the typical things that I like to protect cards with. I love to protect cards with the blink things because I think it's hilarious. It's like a quick nope. And you can't do that because Heliod's going to re-enter as his normal side. You definitely can't just blink him into the... Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough one to
him into
protect.
the nothingness.
Yeah.
I'll send
But
him away.
that flip side that we're talking about is Heliod the Warped Eclipse. This is a 4/6 Phyrexian god. You can cast spells as though you had flash, and that's just great. That's a really, really good ability. And spells you cast are one colorless less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn.
I really like this side of it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, this is the side you play. The other side's cool to like return something, but this Heliod is just absolutely nuts. On everyone's turn, you can play, and you're going to have a minimum of one spell, like one cost reduction every turn, which is awesome. And like I said, we've jammed a bunch of garbage is the right word, bunch of garbage in here to just make other people have to draw cards, and it turned into such a really, really fun deck. Like I said, Brian saw like just this huge stack happen. Not in my list, but a really good card for the list is like a Mycosynth Lattice, or what's the other one? It's like Mycosynth Gardens or something, Brian?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure.
Gardens sounds right.
Mycosynth.
I just have the Mycosynth Lattice.
No, not Gardens.
Wellspring?
Is it Wellspring?
Wellspring's the draw when it dies and when it enters.
Right, yes.
Yeah, let me try and find it.
That would be a good one.
It's a blue card, blah, 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 blah. This one right here. It is Encroaching Mycosynth.
Oh, the new one. Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Everything in your deck's a library artifact.
Yeah, that's not the one. This one just makes everything artifacts. We don't care about that. It's specifically the Mycosynth Lattice or Chromatic Orrery, where we can spend mana as if it were mana of any color for that reduction, so we can just play anything for free. But I didn't find I needed it and stuff. This deck's got it's got like enough ramp, but it's just everyone draws, right? So a lot of times you're able to have like 5-6 cost reduction. You are group hugging in this.
Yeah,
he definitely did. The game was funny. Like, it was really funny to watch with like just like the shenanigans that was going on, because like he was able to respond to instances with like sorceries, and I think sorceries are a little bit stronger than instances more often than not because they're restricted.
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah,
I agree. Let's jump right into the artifacts here on this one. Our first one, we have Arcane Signet. It's just a nice 2 mana. You tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's identity. That's pretty good. Solid.
Yeah.
And then we have Commander Sphere, 3 colorless. Tap again to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. You can sacrifice it and draw a card.
Then we've got Decanter of Endless Water, 3 mana. You have no maximum hand size, and tap to add 1 mana of any color.
Oh,
I've been meaning to pick some of these.
This one's phenomenal.
It's such a cool card. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's I think it's just a common too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just really, really good. Does everything we need. We've also got this Firemind Vessel, which I've liked to play for a long time. It's 4 colorless, enters tapped. Yeah, 2 mana of different colors, but late game you're gonna be able to just flash this out for free. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So it's just like a free 2 mana ramp. Like I like it for us. Like I said, we really, really get a lot of reduction.
Even if they draw 2, it's only 2, and then on your turn you get 2 more mana plus whatever you drop for your turn.
Having flash on all your spells is very, very strong too.
Absolutely.
Next up we have Geth's Grimoire for 4, and whenever an opponent discards a card from his or her hand, you may draw a card.
Yeah, I usually run stuff like a Folio Fancies and group hug deck, and this is technically still a group hug deck, but no, it mostly is. I'm making everyone draw. Just how much everyone's drawing and throwing cards out, the Grimoire really, really helps me refill my hand and keep it stacked. Because like we're trying to, we need no max hand size, and there wasn't really room for extra cards in this deck. Like this deck's cuts were difficult.
You just really enjoyed everything that you saw?
Every one of them just has like a great, like I said, we've got the ramp we need, but as this list goes on, everything is like, it's got to be in the deck. It's just got to be there.
I always hate it when it comes down to like those decisions.
Yeah. This list was initially like 130 cards. It was a rough cut.
Decisions.
Yeah. Sloth, you want to take this next one?
Yeah. Next up, we've got Horn of Greed. 3 mana. Whenever a player plays a land, that player draws a card.
Oh, man, I love these cards.
Yeah, group hug.
Yeah, exactly. We also have Howling Mine because it wouldn't be one of my decks without a Howling Mine in it.
No, it wouldn't.
We've got 2 mana at the beginning of each player's draw step. If it's untapped, that player draws a card, an additional card. It's great. Again, this is going to turn. Yeah. It does everything I like to normally do with Howling Mine and then makes it, I just get another 1 cost reduction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every turn.
I really don't like it when that happens.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Memory Jar, which is 5 colorless. You can tap and sacrifice. Memory Jar. Each player sets aside his or her hand, face down, and draws 7 cards. At end of turn, each player discards his or her hand and returns to his or her hand each card he or she set aside this way. So that's, again, if everybody draws, if you do that on an opponent's turn, everybody draws. That's 21.
Yeah, it's 21. Well, 21 and the cards they've drawn for the turn. So you're looking at like a 22 cost reduction on a tap.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cards that you can do stuff with 22 cost reduction. I'll tell you that. This deck
and
is really...
Especially if the Grimoire is out, too. Anything that they discard.
Yeah, then you can exactly... it's really, really easy to go the Eldrazi route in this deck. I have found that. The version 1 of this had Eldrazi in it, and I took them out because I just didn't think that they were necessary.
Fair enough, yeah.
But it just felt too easy and stuff. Like if you're, again, you're able to flash like an Ulamog at like 1.
Yeah.
Right? Same with Emrakul, like you can take extra turns. Because again, this is 21 mana, right? Yeah. Like technically I could just, if you wanted to jank this deck up a little bit and you had the budget, you could put in a Cloudstone Curio, an Emrakul, and then a Cloudstone Curio, Emrakul, and what's the other one? The Exile Kozilek. And you can just bounce everything and exile every permanent on the field and just be like, oh, sorry guys, I win. Well, technically I don't win. You have to pass and I have 50 extra turns.
Gross.
Yeah. The deck's very breakable, so try Still Be Friends. Speaking of still being friends, we have Mindslaver. This is actually how I won the game.
Hurt you.
Yeah, this is the one that I won the game with. Mindslaver, 6 mana, legendary artifact. You pay 4, you tap, sack it. You control target player during that player's next turn. That's really good.
Probably the most group hug card there is.
Probably the most group hug. Exactly. I'm helping other people make group hug decisions for them. Maybe Brian might not have made the group hug decision, but I will for him.
Exactly. One of the players might need to go get a beer, and you can just take over for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We play as one,
so
Brian.
Mean with these decisions.
We play as one.
Oh, it's too funny.
Next up, we've got Sky Diamond. 2 mana, enters tapped, and tapped to add blue.
Yeah.
And then we have our good old Soul Ring.
Yeah,
Soul Ring. And definitely wants that next card.
Yeah. Teferi's Puzzle Box is an obnoxious card. It's fun.
Every time like it gets played in my games, people are always like, so how are we doing this? Because it's usually like included with like 7 other draws.
Yeah, so I'll explain how that works. You can choose how to stack triggered things, right? But Teferi's Puzzle Box, it's 4 colorless. Beginning of each player's draw step, that player puts the cards in their hand on the bottom of their library in any order, then draws. And you have to draw the card for the turn first. So let's say that we have Howling Mine out, which is going to give us 1 additional draw. We have a draw step draw and a Teferi's Puzzle Box. You can either, you have to draw the first card first. That is not optional. Then you can decide, I'm going to put these 7 cards or 8 cards now at the bottom, and then I'll draw those 8 and then the Howling Mine trigger. Or you can say, I'll do the Howling Mine trigger as well. So now I've got up to 9 cards. I'll bottom 9 cards, draw 9 new cards. You can decide, but you have to do the first draw.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But again, a really, really aggressive cost reduction for us. For anyone, again, the way I just explained it, if you draw your first card for the turn and then you have to bottom 5 cards and draw 5 more cards, that's 6 reduction for me. That's every artifact in this list.
I absolutely love this card.
Yeah, every artifact in this list for free based on like just a Teferi's Puzzle Box, right? It's great.
Yeah, I this card's just always so much fun. I always put it into any of my draw decks.
It's chaotic, but I find a lot of the time it does still help people out and stuff. There's yes, it's annoying if you've got all the good stuff in your hand, right? But there's also lots of games where people don't have the good stuff in their hand and they're stuck without their colors and stuff. And And the chaotic nature of it can really, really change the game around for
Yep.
people. I like Teferi's Puzzle Box.
They, as long as they draw at least one land every hand, they do have a good chance of getting the colors or whatever they might need.
Yeah, right?
Or at least I hope so. And if not, add more lands.
No, never. I would take more out if I could. Heliod's just so expensive.
I was making my Phyrexia deck, and I was like, it's 5 colors. I'm looking at all of my runestones and everything. I was like, do I throw them all in? Like,
every single one.
Every
single fetch land, every single shock land, and every single tribe.
Just do it. Just put them all in.
Who needs basics?
Oh, bad. And next up, we have like Dan's favorite card, Temple Bell. 3 colorless, tap. Each player draws a card.
I live the group hug life. Ooh. It's a forceful group hug lots of the times, but it's a group hug.
I really thought I would have seen Unwinding Clock.
I thought about it. Again, like I said, there's no room in this deck.
That's true.
No room, 0 room. I wish there was. I can't, Brian, I don't think you were here for this episode. You can't unsee it once you've seen it.
You ruined this card for me.
No, what? Oh, yeah, the Thought Vessel. You guys already mentioned it, and I said, but it was always at the end of every episode so far, so I didn't have to look at it.
But now you gaze into the samurai. Gaze into the mustache samurai.
Look at him.
And it's like, it's a good one. I can't unsee it ever.
It's like a starfish.
Yeah, the starfish Mirai.
The starfish.
I'm glad you like that one, Brian. You want to take this one here, Slothy?
Yeah. We've got Thought Vessel. 2 mana. You have no maximum hand size. Tap to add colorless.
I like it.
I'll be honest, and I am actually surprised we're still sitting at 100 cards. I thought I would have expected 102.
If I had the sleeves for it, buddy, this would be a 158 card deck. Yeah. I was making a joke the other day. I said I'm going to rename my Elish Norn deck Blink 182 and just include 182 cards in it. Guys, it's the name. It's funny. Please just let me have these. I need so many cards. If I ever become rules committee, that's day 1. I get rid of the 100 card limit, 100 card minimum deck.
Yeah. I guess so.
That'd and then ridiculous. We could do Battle of Wits, easy peasy. We go into our creature section, which is lackluster. It's not great.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oof.
We've got Body of Knowledge. I really like this card. I've been putting in a lot. 3 double blue. It's a star avatar. Power and toughness equal to the number of cards in hands. No max hand size, which again we're looking for. And whenever it's dealt damage, draw that many cards. That's you don't want to swing into my usually 30-30 that's going to let me draw cards.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen this guy. And he came out in Commander Legends?
I think so. I think it was Strixhaven, actually, wasn't it?
I don't know. Oh, I guess
no. It was Commander Legends. You're right.
Yeah.
Interesting. The next guy we have Fairy Mastermind, 1 and a blue. Fairy Rogue, Flash, Flying. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. 3 and a blue. Each player draws a card. 2/1.
In this deck, I'm holding a lot of mana up a lot of the time because again, I Flash play whenever I want. So it's nice
how it works.
If I didn't, yeah, Brian, like you need to learn to play Flash. Jeez. I was gonna say, it's just nice to have that extra mana sink. I'm gonna probably start putting this more and more in decks that generate a lot of mana because I like group hug stuff, and yeah, draw a mana sink is great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I look into, I always go, is there a mana sink? Like, do I actually have a few cards that I can actually use my wasted mana?
Yep. A mana sink is always great to have, and like any commander that enables me to draw or like sink mana into for something is usually what I like. Yeah,
I like Shalai because she makes my creatures big.
Like other Shalai?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is it? The 2 green and 4. All creatures you control get +1/+1.
Yeah, the counters. Yeah.
Counter.
Yeah, that was my. I was saying in Patreon, the chat and stuff. That was my original Elves commander, was Shalai, and then that turned into Selvala because it could just ramp so hard. But Shalai's ability is so great. I might remake another Shalai deck just as like an Angels counter deck or Elves counter deck. Sorry,
that'd be interesting to see because plus that's quite the buff too.
Yeah, right. Giant elves, and they've got so much mana. They untap so easy. They're Seedborn Muse, Brian's in.
I never get to keep mine in my one play group. They always blow it up.
Right?
That is fair.
They are the reason I can't have nice things. Curse you, Jesse.
Do you want to take this next one here? This is one of my new favorite group hug cards. It is actually pretty group huggy. I like it a lot.
I think it's Slothy's turn. Take it away.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We got Firemain Commando, 3 and a white for a 4/3 Angel Soldier with flying. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. And whenever another player attacks with 2 or more creatures, they draw a card if none of those creatures attacked you.
I really like this card.
Try to get all these.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one. This is great incentive to not attack you.
Yeah, right. I think I bought like 18 of these, to be honest. It was very costly.
Shady deal.
Yeah. It is nice. You can. First off, it's great tribes. This card slots into so many things. Angel and Soldier are 2 great tribes. It's giving you a little bit like this goes great in a Pillow Fort deck, right? Like not only do I not want you to attack me with things like a Ghostly Prison, those kind of things, but attack somewhere else and you get to draw cards. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, exactly.
Shady deals. That's going to go into your.
Who would bring a child into this world filled with war?
I love the art in the background because you can see the invasion happening.
Yeah, the tree breaking, and yeah, it's such a cool card. I'm really in love with that one,
especially foil.
Yeah,
I got some foil full art ones. Oh,
yeah, they're great.
So nice. Yeah.
We also have this Jace's Archivist, 1 double blue for a 2/2 Vidalcan Wizard. 1 blue, tap it. Each player discards his or her hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. It's often going to be me. We're often going to be drawing how many cards are in my hand. And this can be a real problem because...
Even a minimum of 15?
Yeah, well, exactly. A lot of times I've got 20 cards in my hand, and me drawing 20 new cards isn't a big deal. But if I draw 20 new cards and now have a minimum of 60 cost reduction, that might kill you.
That's insane.
The cost reduction on this is crazy.
If you did have the... Oh, no, never mind. It's a cheapening of costs, not free mana. Never mind.
For which one?
I was thinking it the wrong way. The one that does give everyone infinite hand size. So it's just like you can mill everybody.
No, I know. That is the true reason. It's because I can't use the ability to power mill people.
Yeah. And why help them out?
Yeah, right?
So it's stock group hug.
This is group hug. It's not that much group hug.
Oh, that's funny. And obviously we're going to have Cameo of the Crescent Moon 2 blue at the beginning of each player's upkeep. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card, and it's a 1/3.
I love that card.
Yeah.
I put in everything too.
Ooh, speaking of cards that I love, I got Laboratory Maniac, 2 and a blue for a 2/2 human wizard. If you draw a card where your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead.
Yep. This deck should also have Thassa's Oracle and like the Lab Jace.
Lab Jace, yeah.
But again, I was out of space. I'm also out of Thoracles, like Thassa's Oracle. So Lab Maniac's a pretty solid one in its place. And again, the deck is that I make all these group hug. I say jokes, but they're not jokes. It is group hug. But I make these group hug jokes, wink, wink. But this deck is like actually very, very powerful. Like it really, really. I've only run through 2 games with it. One was with Brian and like my high power brothers and stuff, and like Brian saw this thing go off. But then I also played it in. I went
outside during that whole thing.
Stack and it was still resolving. Yeah.
Done
yet. I played it into an online one, and it did like overwhelm the group I was playing with, and it was like a high power one. A lot of people don't understand why I'm letting them draw cards in high power, and yeah,
makes sense.
I just like it. I find the deck does a lot more than people would think it does. And then speaking of my shady deals things, I really, really like this card, the Windshaper Planeter. It's 4 and a white for a 4/4 angel that has flash, has flying, and when it enters during the declare attacker step, for each attacking creature you can reselect which player or planeswalker they attack. So if somebody wants to team up on me, then you're facing the Shady Deals Alliance, and I will make Brian's creatures all go at Slothy if needed.
Oh, you can do that on someone else's.
This one has a flash even without it, but yeah, if it enters during the declare attackers and stuff, yeah, you say, you know what, Daniel, I don't like what you're doing. This 60 cost reduction isn't for me. I swing out with everything and kill you. I've got 7 creatures in here. I'm just a silly little guy, and you try to kill me? Not today.
He's just trying to draw cards.
Yeah.
Just try to give people stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to give, and everyone's trying to take from me. Not in here. Yeah, it's a really, really cool card. I really like that one.
That's funny.
Let's jump into our enchantments here.
Yeah.
All right. First up, we got Dictative Crewfix, because why not? 1 and 2 blue flash at the beginning of each player's draw step. That player draws an additional card.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, we do.
Next up, we got Forced Fruition. 4 double blue. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, that player draws 7. Jeez.
It's just that laugh.
I haven't seen this one before. What?
I run Force Fruition in a few decks. My zeros.
Player draws 7 cards.
You read correctly, and it sucks. And I always play it when I'm playing my draw decks, and I die. I draw myself out. I'm like going on my own terms.
It sounds great in theory, but it's not. And again, like I said, every time you cast any spell, you're giving me 7 cost reduction. You want to try you're trying to interact in the end step and path to exile my Heliod. Okay, well I have 7 more interaction or 7 more cost reduction because of it. It's
and can cast anything at flash.
Yeah, Force Fruition's a really, really cool card. A Consecrated Sphinx would be great in this list too, but I think you'd overdraw.
Well, that's a May. That's a May ability.
Oh, okay. You just like this one, hey Slothy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a cool card.
Mm-hmm.
We have the other thing too. The other thing too is let's also remember that if anyone gets rid of these enchantments, because again, I had to cut this list down. These were the enchantments that I needed the most. Other side of Heliod, when it enters, like when we recast it, is going to bring us our enchantments back, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that Force Fruition is going to get destroyed, but we have recursion. We can bring it back.
Yeah, recursion in the command zone's amazing.
Yeah, right. We've also got a Ghostly Prison, a great card to be able to flash if people are getting a little too uppity in their main phase. They're trying to talk some good stuff. Wait till they spend all their mana, and you just bam, pay this last minute tax.
I said nay.
Yeah, Ghostly Prison. We've got 2 and a white. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. It's a great way to get people away from you.
Yeah.
I play it in almost anything that has white in it.
All these cards being able to be flashed out is just great, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The next card here we have Kashmina's Transmutation, 1 and a blue, enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and base and power and gets power and toughness 1/1.
That's a very annoying card to get flashed on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put the indestructible bug in here?
No, again, no room. But that's another very good one. I like people to be able to get their card back. It's just know that if you swing it at me, I shall turn to frog, become Forg.
At flash speed.
Right?
Too.
Next up, we got 1 with the Multiverse, 6 double blue. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library, and once during each of your turn, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost.
I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a lot of times it's going to drop at 2 blue, and that's a good ability at 2 blue. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that Heliod or however it's pronounced, it's fantastic. I want to build something with it.
I think the more you see this and stuff, because again, you haven't seen the upgraded list, you'll see it again. This will be on the next stream for sure. It's a really fun one, but I think you'll want to build something similar, especially with knowing it has these enchantments built in and stuff. You can go a flicker route really, really easy, and then every turn, like you can retransform Heliod at the end step, and you can just flicker Heliod in and out, get your enchantments back, transform it on your turn, and yeah, it's there's really, really cool play paths with Heliod. The one that I like, this is one of my favorite cards that's come out in a long time. It's Public Enemy. It's 2 and a blue. It's an enchantment aura. It's enchant creature, and all creatures attack enchanted creature's controller each combat if able. And when enchanted creature dies, draw a card. This is such a good card. If anyone, like I talk some smack during games, and if people want to play around, we'll say things. I'm gonna kill you on my turn. Really? Well, everyone's gonna kill you until then. You're the public enemy.
I bought a box of that. I'm gonna be searching through for that card. That's just fun.
It's really good. Again, we're trying to draw cards. It's pretty great. This is a phenomenal threat for someone who's trying to do that, because we can do this again if Slothy's getting a little out of control, right? I might be fearful in his main phase, And yeah, I'll just throw this on Brian and just say like, hey, like you guys aren't making deals behind my back. Like I'm trying to group hug.
You go back to that argument.
Yeah, exactly. It's always group hug, Brian.
So the next card we have here is Quarantine Field XX white enchantment. Quarantine Field enters the battlefield with X isolation counters on it. When Quarantine Field enters the battlefield, for each isolation counter on it, exile up to one target non-land permanent opponent controls until Quarantine Field leaves the battlefield. Gross. Oh, and that your mana reduction pays the X.
Yeah, exactly. If I have that, like what I was saying, 60 mana reduction or 40 mana reduction, I'll exile 20 things on flash for 2 white.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a rough card.
Mm-hmm.
It's also really, you can use it as a group hug thing and just like say like, hey, like someone's trying to board wipe, and I'll just say, I'll save all your creatures, but you have to be able to get rid of an enchantment. Can you do that? And they're like, I'll do this.
Because technically would save them, right?
It would save them. They come back. Yeah. Isolate Quarantine Field's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Slothy, take.
Yeah. We've got a Smothering Tithe, 3 and a white. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If they don't, you create a treasure token.
I usually don't run this, but
it's fun.
The new card that they spoiled today, I put on the Instagram. That's gonna hose treasure tokens so bad. That's, I believe, in direct response to people who play Smothering Tithe. I have 700 treasure tokens. Well, now you have nothing. I like it. Yeah, just the ability to again, we're trying to make everyone draw. It's already really in our wheelhouse. We're trying to play things on everyone else's turn. Smothering Tithe is great.
Yeah, it's great because also you'll be able to pay more into your X spells with that.
Yeah. Generally speaking, the only thing we really need, because what's fun about this is it's cost reduction for every spell we cast, right? It's not just for like, it's not the next spell. So a lot of these things that we're like going through the list, like Dictate a Crew Fix is double blue, Force Fruition's double blue, Ghostly Prisons 1. You know what I mean? Public Enemies 1. Like we just need that colored pip, and then we're good to go. That's why we want that Mycosynth. But
yeah.
But again, I was out of space.
That's like an important card.
Mycosynth?
Yeah.
It would ratchet the power of the deck up for sure.
Oh, buddy, you're playing like me in this deck, and I like it.
Take it away.
We got Sphere of Safety, 4 and a white. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays X for each of those creatures, where X is the number of enchantments you control.
Yeah, again, we don't really have creatures in this deck. It's not very many. So
not that many enchantments either.
This isn't an enchantment deck. It's a group hug deck.
You're running like 30 enchantments, yeah.
It's a group hug deck. We also have Standstill, which is a really, really fun one. It's 1 in the blue. Whenever a player plays a spell, sack it. If you do, each of that player's opponents draw 3 cards. So it's really fun for us. We can flash that out, and then after it's in play, also just flash another thing to force a 9 mana reduction because everyone else is going to draw.
Yeah.
But we can also just help the table out and refill our hand at, again, it's going to be with Heliod out. This is going to be 1 blue, one blue pip whenever we want, be able to draw cards and increase our reduction.
I've never seen this card.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I like Standstill. It's pretty cool.
Take your time.
Yeah, take your time. Flavor text was for Greg.
We've got Teferi's Ageless Insight, 2 in double blue for a legendary enchantment. If you would draw a card, except for the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead.
Double draw.
Too good.
Yeah, it's good.
And then we have Well of Ideas, 5 in a blue. When Well of Ideas enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of each other player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. At the beginning of your draw step, draw 2 additional cards.
Again, group hug.
Yeah.
I really like Well of Ideas.
I've seen it a couple times, actually. I think Jesse played it as well. You guys play the same kind of group hug cards sometimes?
There's one of my favorite things about playing. Jesse came and played with us not too long ago. And was he the stream or no?
Yes, he was on the stream.
Was he oh yes, he was. Yeah.
We did 5-person.
Yeah, we did 5-person. That was really fun. Those games start coming up next week, I believe.
Looking forward to them. They're fun.
Yeah, they were a blast. But yeah, like I like seeing people say that I like play weird cards. There's definitely more optimal cards. You can build better than me, but you can't build as entertaining. You know?
Are you not entertained?
And again, how do you threat assess nonsense? You don't.
Oh,
We'll,
someone made a comment, threat assessment. I just laugh.
yeah. We'll go into this instant section. I will let you know in advance. It can be much better. You could put some counter spells in it. You could put the like Swords to Plowshare, Path to Exile. Those are great. But
by instance, are we talking about sorceries?
No, we're in instant number 1. Sorceries are instant number 2. Yeah. Sloth, do you want to start us off with our first instant section?
Sure. The first one we've got is Angelic Ascension, 1 and a white. Exile target creature or planeswalker, and its controller creates a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying.
Screw Pug.
Why am I not running this?
It's a cool one.
Yeah, but I don't think I would want to give my
that angel's gonna beat you down a lot of the time. But again, I think it's a little bit. You're still gonna get your creature back. I'm still gonna give you something, but I can't let that Consecrated Sphinx stay around, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough.
Dude, like that's really nice actually, because it exiles whatever you're getting rid of. But again, the 4/4, I guess it weighs.
It also hits planeswalkers, which is a nice little extra piece there.
Yeah, you can get rid of like the Narsets or the Lab Jace.
This, by the way, as well, this list should also have things like Disenchant. It should also have there's better things. You could build this deck better than me for sure. I was out of space with the junk that I wanted to put in here. So, can you imagine if I was running real cards?
How to sort through 300 cards, guys.
Right. Slothy, which one do you want? The first or the second here?
Oh, we already did that.
You did the first. Okay, yeah. Sorry. My brain's not working. Like I said, it's been a long week. We've got. Oh yeah. By the way, I'm good from the beginning of the episode. Thanks for asking, everyone. I don't think you guys asked.
I know for a fact I asked.
Oh, you did. Okay, maybe. Again, like I said, I'm really working lots. So, we've got this Blessed Reincarnation. Edit mark. Blessed Reincarnation. 3 and a blue. You exile target creature an opponent controls. That player reveals the cards from the top of their library until a card is revealed. They put that onto the battlefield, then shuffle, and it has rebound. I love this card because I love to control people's top deck. A lot of people tutor things to the top deck, and a 2-for-1 of the card you tutored plus your creature is hilarious to me. And I'm doing this twice, right? Like, it's so frustrating. Like, someone, again, I'm being a problem. Sure. Someone tutors a Cyclonic Rift at the top of their deck.
Usually her problem.
Someone tutors a Cyclonic Rift. Now this Cyclonic Rift is a manifested creature.
Gross. That's gross.
Yeah, or just scrolls through until you get a creature. The other thing too is wrecking someone's like triggers, like Thassa's Oracle trigger with this is really annoying. Because like, you know what I mean? Like you're going for the win. Thassa's is just in your deck. You've tutored it to the top, and I get it before you can play your spell.
I like that as a quick protection from the top deck. Like that's actually really neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and especially like the fact that it's going to put those it like reshuffles their deck kind of thing. I like it a lot.
Oh,
and the rebound again. You're getting 2 exiles at 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Or 1 mana.
Well, yeah, for us 1 mana.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have this one. Blue Sun Zenith, X and 3 blue. Target player draws X card, shuffle Blue Sun Zenith into the owner's library.
Phenomenally easy to kill the table with.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've got 60 reduction and stuff like that. Okay, draw 57 cards. Draw 60 cards. It's you can really, really do work with this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was like trying to do with Mizzix.
Yeah.
The experience counters, but this just makes it a lot easier.
Well, it's
I have all the card draw.
It's a lot easier to justify the setup of this reduction, right? Like, yeah, I'm being annoying, but I'm also giving everyone card draw. We're all having a good time. Don't look at what I'm doing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Or stay. I see the card down there.
Brian, you want this next one here?
Sure. We got Crib Swap, 2 and a white. Change. This is it's a tribal instant shapeshifter changeling. Exile target creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with changeling.
Again, for the exact same reason as the Angelic Ascension, I'm trying to group hug a little with these.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sloth, you want this one?
Yeah. We got Depart the Realm, 1 and a blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and it has Foretell for a blue.
A Foretell is great, but we don't need to foretell it in this one.
Yeah.
We have this card is really, really fun to play. It's Emergency Powers. 5, 1 white, 1 blue. It's instant. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draw 7. You exile emergency powers. And if you cast it during your main phase, you can put a permanent card with CMC 7 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. Cool. It's just really great. Like if we late game, we've got tons of treasures from drawing. We might want that. 7 or less hits nearly everything in the deck, except I think like one with multiverse is 8. But again, on other people's turns, a lot of time this is going to be at like 1 or 2 mana to cast like for our colorless, if that. So being able to reset everyone's hands at Azorius is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen this card before. This is cool.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of resets, right? And it makes a chaotic game that way. I like it. And again, once I reset, I still get like if I had enough to reduce this, I've got 5 cost reduction and flash. That's a lot.
Yeah, just that like the commander's strong. Commander just seems so fun.
I really like. I'm proud of this deck. I have fun building this one.
Yeah, I have one too, so I'm really tempted actually. The next card here we have Even the Score, X and 3 blue. The spell costs 3 blue less to cast if an opponent has drawn 4 or more cards.
Let's go.
Oh my!
I'm it's a bit of a bummer that I can't target this at people to also kill them with, but I really like that ability to be like, I'm gonna draw 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's such a good card.
I like it. I like that one a lot.
Oh man. Who wants to take this one?
You on this one or the next one, Slothy?
I'll take this one.
All right.
We've got Humble, 1 and a white. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and has base power toughness 0/1.
I see Dad use this card numerous times now.
I love Humble. It's just humble yourself, you know?
It's a great card.
It's
you get swung at, he just goes, stay humble and the rest over to
yeah, sure you can exile someone's stuff. That's fine. But there's nothing funnier than having somebody like swing through with their monster card, and then you just turn it into a 0/1 and like block it with a Llanowar Elves and kill it.
So much fun.
I love Humble. It's a great card. I've been running it a lot. Next one is really annoying. It's Mystic Reflection. It's 1 and a blue. You choose target non-legendary creature. The next time 1 or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. So you can ruin people's commanders with this card. Is how this card is played. So like let's say Brian is playing Nekusar, and I have out the Kami of the Crescent Moon. Brian casts Nekusar. Oh no, sorry, I can't choose Kami, but I choose a, what do we got in this deck? Fireman Commando. Brian's group hugging with me. Brian's Nekusar is now going to enter as a copy of Fireman Commando.
Oh, if you do it on someone's gross.
Yeah, it's not quite a combo, but it's a pretty cool combo-esque ability with another card way later in the list in instance number 2, because this is basically going to enable us to later on in the game 3 mana choose like whatever, like an Avenger of Zendikar we can hit with this, right? And if we've got something that is it's the next time 1 or more creatures enter, they all enter as copies, right? So if we're making 15 token copies of something, we can have them all enter as whatever card on the field is important. If it's for us, if it's something important for them, or like I said, they're trying to Thassa's Oracle, instead that's actually going to enter as my Llanowar Elf, or it's going to enter as, I really like this card. It's annoying. It's a toxic card for sure.
I've never thought about running it like that.
Yeah, it's to host people's commanders. It's to wreck the game for them.
And then we have Reality Shift, 1 and a blue, exile target creature. Its controller manifests the top card of their library.
That's the one I was thinking for, the Blessed Reincarnation of that manifest. It's both wreck the top deck, though, for people.
Yeah, looks that way. So anyone that does any of the top searches.
Yeah, Reality Shift's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, you could run better ones, but all these ones that I'm running, they're like still like Angelic Ascension is still the same cost as a Swords to Plowshare, but like they're getting a creature back. So that's how I don't want them to get lands or life. Crib Swap, the same thing. They're getting creatures back. I'm still casting them for the same cost. It's there's a method to what goes on in the Mind Palace up here.
The Mind Palace.
The Mind Palace. Sloth, you want to take this one?
Yeah,
sure. We've got Suspend. Single blue, exile target creature and put 2 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend.
Yeah,
I've gotten hit by those a couple times.
It's really annoying. But again, you can have it back. I'm just letting you know. You know,
You're just holding on to it for a bit.
Yeah. We also have an unsubstantiate, another card I've been having a lot of fun playing. Words are hard. It's 1 in the blue. You return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Again, at 1 mana. This someone has a huge spell they're trying to get out. No, put it back in your hand. Try again later. Someone's trying to get rid of something I control. Think again.
Yeah.
Why don't you just run an unsummon?
Well, because this doesn't just unsummon. You can do it to the spell too. You try to Psych Rift me, I can put it back in your hand.
Or target spell. Whoops, I didn't even catch that part.
Yeah, you try Psych Rift me or board wipe, put it back in your hand. Let's try again next turn. See if you still want it. And we have the ability as well so easily to we can wheel people, right? So if people are being annoying, like this lets us put another spell back in. Like if there's someone's gonna get rid of my Heliod or blah blah blah, do something I can't deal with. We can get that spell back in their hand. We can wheel it away really, really easy with this deck. So I just really, really like it.
Yeah. And talking about that, wheel and deal 3 in a blue. Any number of target opponents each discard his or her hand and draw 7 cards. You draw a card.
Yeah. Again, a lot of times that for me is a 1 mana. I draw and I make everyone draw 7. And with my Smothering Tides out, I'm making 21 tokens. I'm getting 21 reduction. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Too good.
You want to end off this first instance section, Slothy?
Sure. Rounding off the first instance section, we've got White Sun Zenith, X triple white, create X 2/2 white cat creature tokens and shuffle White Sun Zenith into its owner's library.
That's a cool card.
It's pretty awesome when you got that 21 reduction and 21 treasure tokens.
Yeah, right. We make 50 cats. Everything is cats.
This is a cat tribal deck now.
Cat City!
I'll allow it.
Yeah. Right. It's again, a lot of time, like we're able to generate a lot. These X spells are nice, and I really like their reshuffles.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, the White Sun Zenith really comes in. We don't have anything crazy in our land section here. We have the Gear Reach Sanitarium just for pay 2, each player draws a card, then discards a card. It's nice additional, but it's not really necessary. Like other than that, it's a pretty basic land package, just like nothing crazy. We got our temple, a reliquary tower, a few things to tap for. You get it. There's nothing special in there. We go into our sorcery section number 2, or sorceries, but it's really our instant section. So really, this deck is running like an additional 19 instants the way we play it, and these are what I think are the most annoying parts of this deck. So
just giving a quick look through it, I would agree with you.
Yeah, these are all very problematic sorceries at sorcery speed, and we've got instant speed. Yeah, so like we'll start right off with this Aether Gale. A lot of times I'm casting this for 2 blue mana, and that's super toxic. Super toxic to Aether Gale at 2 blue. It's going to make people angry. It's 3 double blue. You return 6 target non-land permanents to the owner's hand. When you're doing that at a cost reduction, that's gross. No one likes that, especially at Flash. Like a 2 for 6 is brutal.
I was gonna say cost reduction is one thing, but cost reduction and Flash is something totally different.
Yeah, right. Well, and the other thing too is I'm just, so many of these cards are shuffle my graveyard into my library, so you're gonna get slapped in the face with these more than once per game.
I'm surprised you didn't really have anything that copy spells in here and get like
there's no
double.
room. There's no room. I wish there was, Brian. But all these ones, like I said, we're 50 minutes into this episode. 60. We're almost an hour in already. And the cost reduction's been great, but the cost reduction does not shine at all until we hit this section, and you'll see.
That's true. The next card we do have here is Approach of the Second Suns, 6 and a white. If Approach of the Second Suns was cast from your hand, and you've cast another spell named Approach of the Second Suns this game, you win the game. Otherwise, put Approach of the Second Sun into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life.
Yeah. It's gross.
That's how you won, right?
Yeah, it is how I won. Yep. You can just approach the second sun and then memory jar, and then you have it back in your hand. And just for what's probably going to be 1 mana on Slothy's turn, win the game. I pay white. I wheel everyone's cards after, and then I do it again, and I win for 2 white.
Jeez.
Gross, right? It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. We got Blue Sun's Twilight next. X double blue. Gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature.
Again, this whole section is problematic to have flash and to have reduction.
Yeah.
Because, we're going to get a copy of the creature. We're going to take whatever we want. A lot of times it's going to be Brian's Seedborn. This card should be Seedborn's Twilight because I'm taking Seedborn from Brian.
Every single time.
Every single time. I'm taking Seedborn. I'm taking a copy of it. He can't have it. I need it.
You see, he takes my babies and he gets upset when I take a land.
Yeah, I needed that land, Brian. That land was my home. We have another card that, again, you should never be able to flash. You should never be able to flash for 2 blue.
Or cast for 2.
Yeah. We've got Clone Legion, 7 double blue. For each creature target player controls, you create a token that's a copy of that. And we may remember there's this and another card up there, but with that Mystic Reflection, that means that if somebody's playing a token deck and they're being annoying and stuff like that, I can say okay, I'm gonna clone Brian's field with 60 of blah blah blah, and then I can make those enter as copies of whatever I want with that Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's rough. You don't want me doing that a lot of times. Like Avenger of Zendikar is the example I use because that's a combo I played when I was doing the online game, and I got 50 Avenger of Zendikars.
Gross.
Yeah. You know what's not good to have? 50 Avenger of Zendikars.
And then all the tokens that come along with them.
Yeah, it's you win usually. Yeah, it's a really, really cool card.
The next one we have here is Cut a Deal. 2 and a white. Each opponent draws a card. Then you draw a card for each opponent who drew a card this way.
I love this card.
It's a one-sided deal.
It's a good deal though. I also really like the art. Every time I see this card, I have to say that and stuff. All the Praetors in front of Norn there is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very cool. But yeah, no, I really like that. Again, for 1 mana, we're able to group hug the table, get everyone a draw. We're going to draw 3 cards. The more players in your game, the better. Like we play a lot of 5-player games, so
that's true.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Next one we got is Days Undoing. 2 and a blue. Each player shuffles his or her hand and graveyard into his or her library, then draws 7 cards. If it's your turn, end the turn.
I like it. Definitely, yeah. Again, a 1 mana wheel for what we're doing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Days Undoing a lot of times does exile itself.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everyone knows. It does even say it. It says exile all spells and abilities on the stack, including this card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can't keep repeating this one. If Days Undoing resolves, it is on your turn at least.
Got you. Okay. So if you flashed it on anyone else's turn, you're typically fine.
Yep. I'm also going to take the next one because it's one of my favorite artworks. I have always thought this is a beautiful card. We've got our Echo of Eons. It's 4 double blue. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into the library, draws 7, and it's got flashback. And Heliod doesn't just give us flash from hand.
Yeah, it's just your spells have flash, right?
Yeah, right. Anything that lets us play from the top of library, we can do. Anything graveyard, it's great. So being able to double wheel people again at 3 blue.
Yeah. And then we have Fascination, X and 2 blue. Choose 1. Each player draws X cards. Each player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. I'm done.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's definitely one of the win cons of the deck is being able to flash that. You can do that in someone's draw stat, like our upkeep.
Yeah.
Please mill the remainder of your library.
Yeah, mill the table out and then just say pass. People can beg for the group hug save by asking me to also flash Days Undoing or Echo of Eons back. Please, I'm not ready to die.
Not yet, mister.
Slothy, I feel like you'll appreciate the next one.
This is one of my favorite cards to come out of this set. It's Mass Manipulation. Double X and 4 blue. Gain control of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. So what I'm hearing is you're paying 4 blue with the 2 reduction and you're getting Brian Seedborn.
Yeah, exactly. You get it. This X target creatures and planeswalkers is pretty rough. We're able to take a lot. And 4 blues, not very much. 4 blue we can manage.
Yeah, definitely.
In a 2-color deck, 100%. Or I would at least hope so.
Right? We've got Prosperity, a great way to draw the game out for everyone. It's X and a blue. Each player draws X cards. So you can just be like, we're ending the game and we're all friends. We're all drawing 80 cards.
Because why not?
Yeah. May
And
as well.
then
Once you
then
hit
we
that,
have-
once you really quickly, sorry, once you hit that critical mass of draw spells and reduction, it is pretty impossible to come back from for other people because again, like I said, you can make everyone draw like 50 cards, and then I've got 50 cards in my hand, and you know what I mean? Like I'll be like, okay, well, we're gonna end the game with fascination. Someone's like counterspell. I'm like, all right, response, Blue Sun Zenith for 100. You know, now only you don't get to partake in this glorious group draw.
But it's so funny, like just how the draws can happen, and like a lot of these like are sorcery speed spells that are supposed to be like played on your turn, like this prosperity that only costs 1, and then the X. So if you're causing people to draw, it just gets foolish. Like I feel like there's a curve, and then at just some point it's like it just drops off because
Yeah, once you hit a
game-
point, then it's a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who wants this Raven form?
I will take this Raven form. So we got Raven form, 2 and a blue. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird. Creature token with flying. Foretell 1. That's what I would give people, not a 4/4 angel.
Well, sometimes the
Yeah.
4/4 angels not too bad, and especially if someone's about to alt a planeswalker, and planeswalkers are very common right now. We got a planeswalker deck, a precon coming out soon, so you're bound to see planeswalkers here and there.
Are the plus up at sorcery speed?
They're the effect is put on the stack, but you can like, let's say that we get to my turn, you know that it's in alt range, and you know that I've been looking forward to it. You know, I'm staring at that card. I'm not mentioning it, but I'm looking at it. Everyone kind of sees that my Liliana's ticked the whole way up, kind of thing. And then just in my upkeep, you just turn it into an angel.
I guess so.
Feels bad.
Feels bad. Even the Realm and Renbreaker that you just got, you can wreck my ability to get that emblem.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those foil emblems.
Yeah, right.
Please rendezvous with me.
Sloth, you want this one?
Yeah. We got Secret Rendezvous, 1 double white. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards.
Let's go.
Yep.
Decent.
I like that one. The single combat's another great answer in this deck. We've got 3 double white, and for us, generally, it's going to be double white only. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control, sacks the rest. They can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of your next turn.
Oh, if you don't
Wow.
like someone, you just do this on their turn. It's gross.
Yeah, someone's trying to be silly with me, trying to get a little silly.
I don't like it.
I like it. Yeah, it's I really really like this one. It can host people, but again, it keeps our commander around, which is what we like.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dumb CMC.
It is a dumb CMC, but again, with the mystic reflection.
So we got Stormherd here, 8 and 2 white. Create X/1/1 white Pegasus creature tokens with flying, where X is your life total.
Ridiculous.
It's pretty disgusting how early this can come out, because this whole, like, again, if let's just say that we're having a great game and we start out, we get a turn 2 Kami, turn 3 Dictate of Crewfix, turn 4 Howling Mine, and we're going into our turn 5 and stuff, right? And we've got our Heliod out, blah 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 blah. It with just those 3 cards, right? It's going to be like a 3 reduction, so we're going to be able to get 41 ones at 5.
Yeah.
Oh, and their draw spell, so 41 ones at 4.
Especially
Yeah.
if you even cause people to draw 2 cards. 2 cards each.
Oh yeah, well
It's only
exactly.
white.
A Temple Bell is going to bring this down by 3. That standstill, where it brings it down by 9 if I cast the next spell. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty disgusting card, to be totally honest.
Mhm.
Especially, like I said, at flash speed, someone wants to. You want to challenge me? I'll attack you with 15 creatures. I'll make 40. Your move, old man.
Hey.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Sloth, you want this next one? I think you'd like this one.
Yeah. We've got Tales of the Ancestors, 3 and a blue. Each player with fewer cards in hand than the player with the most cards in hand draw cards equal to the difference, and it has Foretell for 1 and a blue.
I really like
can
this card
see-
to kill people.
I really like that one.
You can see here that football is in the Magic universe. Touchdown!
Goal! Yeah, a lot of times this is going to make everyone draw like 60 cards. I group hug the world, and the world group hugs back. We've also got this time reversal. 3 double blue. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into library. Draw 7. Exile time reversal.
I love this card. I run this card.
Don't run the next card. Put a different card in. Yeah, or get a proxy of it. But just put put that Swords to Plowshare that I was talking.
Yeah.
Woof.
Put Labman Jace in this one.
Yeah, Labman Jace would be great. Thassa's Oracle, perhaps.
A counter spell.
Yeah. Perhaps any of those cards. Really, there's almost, you could include an additional land.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. If you have a Time Twister or a nice printer, I'll take this one. It's 2 and a blue. You set Time Twister aside in a new graveyard pile, shuffle your hand, library graveyard into a new library, and draw a hand of 7 cards, leaving all cards in play where they are. Opponents must do the same. So it's just shuffle your library, your hand and library. It's just another wheel card. It's the wheel deal.
I noticed at the start that this deck was like $13,300, and I immediately knew what card was in here.
Yeah.
So if you remove this,
It was like, as soon as I saw 13,000.
Yeah, if you remove this card, it is a $361 deck.
Yeah.
We're also playing budget.
Yep.
We've got it all figured out, guys.
Then we have the card that Dan went out and bought everything of. We got White Sun's Twilight, X and 2 white. You gain X life where you gain X life, create X/1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with toxic 1. And this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures.
Who could possibly see this coming? Who can possibly see an infect-based win in an Azorius deck at instant speed? Because I'm going to do it right before my turn starts so that I can swing out with these infect creatures. Who could see this coming?
Yeah.
It's a board wipe. It's life gain. And again, a lot of times it's going to be like, we'll gain 60 life. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
It's a dirty deck. I like it. Sloth, you want to finish us off here?
Yeah. Rounding us out here, we've got Windfall, 2 in the blue. Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way.
Right? It's pretty cool.
I was wondering where the Windfall was.
Oh, the Windfall's there.
You always got to have a Windfall.
Yeah, but
I really like this one.
The card or
the deck.
Oh, I'm glad. It's really it's because there's actually an instant in it.
It does help.
Yeah, you got to come out and play again there, Slothy. You got to see all these new decks.
Mm-hmm.
Got to sit down and play 500.
So, like I was saying and stuff, a lot of these don't really feel optimal when you look at the list, but like I got reasoning for all of them, and this deck has so much. Like it can 0 to 100 so fast. Like the board state can get changed so aggressively, so quickly, and stuff like that. Right? Even just even being able to White Sun's Twilight. Right? If X is 5 or more, that's a board wipe at instant speed. That's giving me infect. That's a problem. Right? And you're already drawing 1 card for your turn. So I really only to get that destroy off for free, you only have to be drawing 4 cards, and my deck is full of like everyone's drawing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really fun. Quain would be great in this deck too. I just couldn't find another Quain. This deck was just so fun to build. It's been so fun to play. I generally like to. I've got so many boxes of cards, right? Like of decks, like deck boxes and stuff, and I like to usually keep a group hug deck in the box, so that no matter what box I grab, I have something to play with every table, right? I got some group hugs, some mid power, some high. That's kind of how I organize my cards a little bit. But I was initially going to do that because I just got another deck box. This was initially going to be my one for my group hug for it. And I think that this, although it is group hug E, I think it's got too much aggressive like win out of nowhere to be considered a group hug, right? Usually when I group hug, I'm just trying to make everyone else have fun. Mm-hmm. And like the deck's very fun to pilot. It's very fun. But
I can see this being played kind of stacksy too.
Yeah, well, it's just not fun to lose to an instant speed approach of the second sun that's cost me 2 mana.
Right?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like that is gonna like leave a little bit of a feel bad. It's very fun to pilot, but like the sorcery section like takes this deck in a different direction where you're just like, oh, like this is a problem now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, $13,000 problem.
What were you saying, Sloppy?
The fact that you can just cast all these at flash speed is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, and the other thing too, right? Like we get to such a point where I can let's say Brian's got the biggest field. I can mass manipulation the entire field away from him, then also Clone Legion it to double up, and I've only spent 6 blue in a lot of games.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I do this in main phase before someone can attack me, kind of thing. Like there is a lot. And again, like I said, the approach to the Second Sun win is I would say the safest win in the deck. We're not protecting it. It's not full of counter spells, right? You can interact with me, but it's just
you have 99 responses, or sorry, 60 something responses.
Yeah, it's like I said, you can kill people a lot just in their response with a Blue Sun Zenith once you hit that critical mass.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like I said, it's really, really fun. There's so many ways to build this. This is another it's going to be almost like Sovala to me. I think there's going to be a bunch of these. This would be a really, really fun Pillow Fort Commander, like where you're doing enchantment theme just straight out. And then, like I said, able to like flicker it back and forth, and like that would be really, really cool.
I think it's really neat because like basically you can snowball on just anyone's turn. So you can start off with a short, like everyone, like, so you get the card draw off of that player's turn. So say they're drawing 3 at their upkeep or their draw step. So you already have a 3 reduction.
Yep.
So say then you can cast the Windfall or one of the wheel cards. That is another 7 or say cards off of 3 other players on top of that 3 already. We're already at like 25. So like anything else after that is just constantly adding on and just increasing that deficit or that amount of like you can put into it.
It's a very, very fun deck. Like it's like you said, it can just change. So the board state can just become so aggressively different so quickly.
It's such a cool card though. Like as soon as we read it during the spoilers, I loved it. It was just like that'll be such a powerful card.
Well, and there's so many that I wanted to build out of this set, right? Like I've loved the Thalia and the Getrog. Like I've loved the Borborygmos and Fibblethip. That was a really, really fun deck to play and stuff, right? But this one, just like as soon as I played it, I was like, this is a special one. Like it's such a cool thing. You can go like I'm pretty sure this will be a fairly unique-ish deck list. Most people are going to run like the things that make things draw, but I think this will be a little different than most people's. And if it's not, then we're building with Men of Class. Right? Any final thoughts with this one, guys, or are we wrapping here?
I really enjoyed the deck. I just thought it was really fun to see it get played. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing against it again on stream. It's just such a cool commander and a little bit unique, and the fact that you have to try to get it transformed is different.
Yeah, right.
This isn't my final form.
It's like I said, if you're into a heavy removal pod and stuff like that, this is a expensive. It's a hefty commander to cast because like to get that transformed, even to start flashing 7 mana the first time is a lot.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to sneak it in the battlefield and make friends. Just be like, listen, we're all just happy people here.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Just put a mustache on him. That's not
right.
Heliod.
Right. With that, I will wrap us there. Thank you everyone for getting to the end here. If you like what we do, please like, share, subscribe. It really helps people see us. If you want to chat with us and build decks with us, Patreon's the easiest way to do that. We answer on Instagram and stuff like that, but we have a dedicated Patreon chat. We're going to be doing stream games, so if you want to play against a Heliod and show me what actual counter spells look like and stuff like that, definitely a fun time as well. If you like our content, go to our website, intotheninetynine'com. It's a really, really great place to see everything that we do. We've got lots of cool articles. For anyone who hasn't been there before, there is a contact us thing. We had a few different people reach out this week with stuff, so thank you everyone who's been reaching out and saying stuff. Yeah, it's always good to hear from people. I want to know what you guys would put into a deck like this. Check out our YouTube, check out all those things. But yeah, other than that, just thanks for getting through the episode with us and have a great week. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you like my silly deck. It's just a silly little guy.
And a huge thank out to Whipsaw and Thunder Emperor.
Yeah. You guys are great. It's very fun to chat decks. So, and yeah. With that, I say bye-bye.
Peace.
See ya.